In this second part of how to fit exercise activity into a busy routine, we're going to look at how you can set yourself up for success. So we're going to follow the model of power of tiny gains, as highlighted in James Clear's book Atomic Habits, based on the aggregation of marginal gains. So the idea that if you split a topic down into many smaller parts and make small adjustments in all of those parts and then put the whole thing back together again, you can have a massive increase over time. So for us, with fitness, with exercise, this is kind of the opposite of the New Year's resolution, Get Fit for the Beach campaign, where we're trying to change lots of things quite dramatically. This is just about identifying small, straightforward actions, but putting them into place on a consistent basis and really seeing the benefits grow over days, weeks, months, and even years. So what do we start with? Beginning with your environment. I think what is around us dictates how we feel, dictates whether we're feeling focused and energetic and upbeat and efficient or not, as the case may be. So for us, setting up with an environment that kind of energizes you and raises your focus and intention and energy always helps with how one can maintain a fitness and exercise routine. Your exercise is much less likely to happen if you're feeling tired and sluggish or your environment is pushing you in that direction. So here we have examples of kind of office desk based, different levels of setup. One quite tidy, we have a standing desk. Often people use that as a way to stay energized and kind of leapfrog from that day of being on their feet into their exercise activity. You see one step beyond that, even these treadmill desks, or people have kind of exercise pedal bikes underneath the desk. Not so common, but they do work for some people. So everyone has a version of their environment that will help give them this fitness mindset. I'd encourage everyone to just have a look around where you work, your home office, your real office, if you're on the move, where your workstations or your work locations. These are the places where we inhabit time. So have a look around and say, are there any small elements of this that we could adjust that would help us focus more and keep this proactive fitness mindset? It might also be as part of your transit to and from your working locations. Just because you travel tubes or cars doesn't mean that would knock you off your fitness routine. Think about how you might drink on those journeys, what you might eat, what you might snack on, what you might need to take with you, how you sit, stand and move as you're going about your daily routine. All of these small positives can add up to make a real big difference. So let's look at one of those in particular, your physiology. Lots of people have a busy day, and as we get physically tired, we tend to slouch a little bit. Mental fatigue triggers this movement where the muscles slacken and we move into this forward kind of shoulders down, head jutting forward position. We feel tired. So the mental state and the physiology working together, we can reverse this. And I think we need to reverse this as much as possible. Allow the physiology to lead the mental state. Take a break, take a moment, take a breath, sit up straight, adopt the illustration positions with the green, avoid those with the red. If you check yourself and you physically energize, there's a little bit of mental energy that comes. So I would say if you can set some sort of regular reminder, something every hour that chimes just to check the posture, take a breath, maybe do one or two of your daily stretching or mobility exercises at that point. But you're building this in, you're re-energizing. This becomes part of your upright, focused and alert identity, which then translates into a great fitness mindset. We talked about fitting the posture and maybe some stretches in. If you want to fit in some of the core work as well, this is an interesting exercise. A single leg balance, it's very simple, it's quite fun. I've put there the corresponding benchmarks for different ages and times to be able to hold the single leg balance position. So all you need to do is make sure you have an appropriate space, something to hold on to around you if required, because the single leg balance for these time markers needs to be performed with your eyes closed. So you stand up nice and straight, close your eyes, lift up one leg and then just simply count and see if you can hit your timer marker for your specific age. Relax both feet down, open your eyes, take a breath, and then swap and repeat on the other side. Ideally, you should be able to hit the marker on both sides. If not, it's worth practicing kind of weaker side, then the other side, and then go back to the weaker side to train your core to work efficiently. The benefit of this simple exercise is that it trains the core to work more effectively and stay switched on for longer, which will then keep you upright, keep you focused, keep you breathing well through the day, but also translate into a good position for your exercise activity. But also they have proven some relationship between your balance and your cognitive ability, your kind of brain power, the efficiency of the brain signals. So hitting these markers for time throughout the ages is a nice way to know that physically, and particularly with your core stability muscles, you're ahead of the game, but also mentally things are working as they should be as well. On the note of benchmarks or challenges, there's another one you might want to try, the sit-stand test. So the idea here, you can go from standing to sitting cross-legged on the floor and back to standing without using your hands for support. So in the test, you begin with a perfect score of 10. And if you were to wobble on the way down or up, you lose half a point. And if you have to touch onto something external, a wall or a desk or a chair or another part of your body, you lose a point. You're aiming to keep your perfect score. So with practice, you're able to improve your mental and your physical efficiency. There is also an underlying serious side to this study. In 2016, the European Journal of Preventative Cardiology discovered that people aged between 50 and 80 who scored less than 8 out of 10 were twice as likely to die within the next 6 years. So a fun exercise, but if you want to improve your life expectancy and longevity and the quality of that life, here is a simple test you could do once a month. Can I still do the sit-stand test? If yes, fantastic. If no, what might I need to work on? Flexibility, core, stretching, that will help me to be able to perform it. So again, these key markers are quite satisfying to monitor as we progress through life. For marginal gains, hydration, absolutely key. When they experiment with athletes, loss of fluid, 5% dehydration can result in 30% drop-off in their output. Now, although we're not all elite athletes, we are trying to perform at our best for as much of the time as possible. So maintaining good hydration, just a very simple, quick tick in the box that says you're putting yourself at the best advantage for energy and focus through the day, but also each of your workouts will be more efficient the better hydrated you are. You can exercise for longer, or you can exercise more intensely, whatever your objectives are. So have some sort of reusable, refillable, and if you want to, for home use or weekends or sometimes in the office, lots of people are now using these giant water bottles, so you can use them to stay well hydrated, but they also double up as weights or resistance. If you want to do a quick bit of exercise or a quick circuit, it's quite a fun way to make that happen without any resistance. So when you're thinking about your routine, consider these small things. They all stack up to the positives. Look at your environment, look at how well hydrated you are, look at the opportunities for good posture and positioning, take some breaths for time out, get yourself back in an upright position, focus on shoulders back, calm and relaxed, and any stretches that you can fit in during the day will give you back more time for other elements of the workout. So nothing is too small to be overlooked. The more of these positives, the more you're focused on being a fitness person, and the easier it will be to maintain your exercise routine on top of all of that.